Are the Grammys rigged?
Yes.
Welcome to the spotlight of glory and the shadows of influence. In 2024, the Grammys continue to dazzle us with the brightest stars in music. But beyond the glitz and accolades lies a tale untold. A world where secret committees pull the strings and cabals cast their spells, turning artists into pawns in a grand game of fame and power. You won't believe your eyes. Now, the Grammys unveiled.
Are the Grammys rigged?
No. It's a full democratic process.
Okay. For decades, the Grammy Awards have stood at the pinnacle of musical achievement. Oh, off. Who wrote this? A symbol of excellence recognized around the globe. Artists have dreamed of holding that golden gramophone. What's a gramophone?
It's a prototype of a record player, I believe.
Yeah. So whether you're a diehard music fan or you don't give a shit, are the Grammys rigged is the question that we're going to answer today here on Real Brave Live. I like this. This is cool. When Sinead O'Connor received 4 Grammy nominations in 1991, she chose to withdraw from the event. She also penned a letter to the Recording Academy stating, "As artists, we are tasked with conveying humanity's emotions, to always be truthful and never conceal the truth, despite operating in an environment that often rejects the sound of truth."
Nerd. No, your job is to sell records, lady. Get with the program.
She added, "Our role is to enlighten and to some extent direct and heal our fellow human beings to whom we are all equally connected."
Wrong. Your role is to be sexy and sell cheeseburgers.
"Predominantly honor the commercial aspect of art," she argues. That's not the case. And that's why she's dead.
Yeah. Killed by Big Grammy.
So the Grammy Awards, often referred to as the Grammys, are accolades distributed by the Recording Academy in the United States. It started in the 1950s. The inception of the Grammys can be traced back to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, when they figured out, like, hey, there's a lot of people that aren't going to be on this damn thing. We should probably make an award ceremony and slob each other's knob. Yep. In 2023, the induction of...
Second to the Academy Awards is probably the biggest circle jerk on television.
It's a bigger circle jerk than the Academy
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, my God. I can't stand it.
Who votes for the Grammys?
Well, we're going to get into that, Kevin.
Oh.
I'm going to teach you.
Oh, good.
Yeah. The inaugural Grammy Awards event took place on May 4th, 1959, recognizing the musical feats of artists of the year 1958. Following the 2011 ceremony, significant changes were made to the Grammy Award categories. For instance, in 2023, and this is from Wiki, by the way, and I had to bold this. The introduction of the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award, named after Dr. Dre, known for his history of domestic abuse.
What?
The Wiki.
This is from Wiki.
Has sparked considerable controversy. So I had to look into that.
Is this a Wiki leak?
Yeah.
About Dr. Dre?
And apparently he was
Not a good dude.
no.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he I think he comes off oftentimes as a good statesman for music. He does a lot of the sort of pomp and circumstance. He goes to award shows, but yeah, he's had some shady stuff happen in his past.
I used to think about Dr. Dre a lot, but recently I kind of forgot about Dre.
You were specifically told, Kevin, not to forget about Dre. There used to be this great segment on Conan O'Brien called In the Year 2000 where they would predict things.
Yeah.
And one of them was Dr. Dre will change his name to Mr. Dre when he admits that podiatrists are not real doctors. Fantastic.
Oh my goodness. So in the original ceremony, there was lots of different people there, including Frank Sinatra, Old Blue Eyes, now known as Old Dead Eyes.
I don't think anybody knows him like that, except for Brian's grandmother, who changed his diapers, or was his wet nurse or something.
Yeah,
what?
Wet nurse? Correct, yeah.
What is that again, Brian? Explain that to the audience.
A wet nurse is when a woman cannot produce her own breast milk, and therefore another woman breastfeeds her child.
Oh God! And can I do that?
With the right hormones, you can do anything.
Can I purchase breast milk from somewhere?
Oh, the internet is awash in that.
Wow.
Yes. A friend of mine recently gave birth, and someone asked her if she had been vaccinated. It's not she was offering money for her unvaccinated breast milk.
Wow.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Has she been vaccinated?
She has been, yes.
Oh, so she didn't sell any of her booby juice. Oh, bummer.
Good aside.
That would be so much worse. You have the Emmys and the Eddies.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, initially, Eddie was considered to be a tribute to Thomas Edison, who invented the phonograph. However, conducting a mail-in contest in the 50s that drew around 300 entries, the name Grammy was selected, inspired by Emil Berliner's gramophone, thanks to some dude.
Can I say something about Thomas Edison?
Go ahead.
He was a hack.
Oh, yeah?
He was not a hack. But not a scientist, really. He hired people. He had labs of interns and college students and technicians and all that, inventing all the things, and then he took credit for all of them.
Yeah.
Isn't that what an entrepreneur is supposed to do?
I guess so.
What do you think I do in place of you?
Invent music lessons.
I did.
Hi, Kaylee.
Who's that?
Oh,
you're not supposed to see this. Run
look
far
away. Look away.
This guy. Anyway, fast forward to 2024 at the conclusion of the 2024 Grammy Awards on Sunday. Phoebe Bridgers, you know her real well. She's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Stood out as the top winner of the night, securing 4 awards, 3 of which were with her band Boy Genius. It's actually decent. Have you heard it?
I have. I like that album a lot.
Yeah.
It's good.
Not far behind, we're SZA.
Who?
SZA. She's from Jersey.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah. Boy Genius, Killer Mike. Killer Mike got arrested after the
did?
show. Victoria Monet.
Wait.
And
Why? What happened?
I think it's like he got into a fight.
So he's disputing. Apparently, the entourage he was with picked a fight with a security guard or something because he, I guess, was mouthing off. They arrested him.
Okay.
Killer Mike, he's always on like Bill Maher. And he's
Very
awesome.
politically active guy. Yeah.
Very politically active.
Founded
Yeah.
Greenwood, the banking app.
I know. Really?
Yeah.
I know nothing about him except his name, Killer Mike.
Yeah.
He's in Run the Jewels. You ever Run the Jewels?
No, but has he killed somebody?
Better watch out.
He kills you with his tracks.
Yeah, he's killing with those lyrics,
Yeah.
spitting
His
them.
rhymes, exactly.
Billie Eilish, Miley Cyrus, and Taylor Swift each took home 2 awards, with Swift making history, being the first artist to win Album of the Year category 4 times
Whoa.
in separate years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Noteworthy moments. Tracy Chapman and Luke Combs delivered a rendition of Chapman's classic Fast Car, and Joni Mitchell performing. So I'd like to hear your opinion on that. I'm assuming you saw bits and pieces on it of
Little
it.
bits,
or-
yeah.
Joni Mitchell fan?
Yeah, Joni Mitchell is somebody who I respect very much. I don't know a ton of her music, actually.
Oh.
But lately I've been going back and listening to some of the stuff, and I've really enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I knew she was obviously very talented, but I didn't realize how great of a guitar player she was.
Yes.
At her peak, she was an excellent guitar player.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I'm teaching one of her songs now. It's pretty
Was it?
challenging, yeah. I'm teaching one of
Oh,
her
are you?
songs
Oh,
right
yeah.
now, yeah.
And specifically the stuff she did, like the jazzier stuff she did later in the 70s is really, really interesting and good.
Both Sides Now.
Yeah.
That tune is incredible.
Yeah.
I know she did that
Coyote.
one. What's that?
Coyote is a great song.
Yeah. So she did that song, right? Live, Both Sides Now?
Yeah.
It's tough to watch someone making their Grammy debut at 80 when she is...
She's 80?
Yeah.
Really?
And she had a stroke, was it? A couple years ago? She's certainly not...
She's not
great.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't... I'd rather see her in her prime rather than at 80. I know it was a very emotional moment for women artists because that's someone who they look up to.
And just this year, Paramore was the first ever female fronted group to win the Best Rock Performance Grammy.
Oh, boy.
I
Wow.
believe I read. Which is crazy that it took 60 years of the Grammys to get a female fronted band to win
Wow.
Best Rock Performance,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But also, I think the Joni Mitchell thing is more of an indictment on the Grammys than anyone else. Why did they wait until now to have one of the most important singer-songwriters of the 70s on the show?
Yeah. It's just another one of those stupid things that these award shows do, and we'll never be able to explain it because we're not on the board. But we're gonna get to that.
Is she in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
She is.
She is.
I would hope so. Hey, you're very crunchy. What? He's crunchy.
I'm trying not to touch it, but I had to move it
Yeah,
a little
stop
bit.
touching it. Man.
I heard about the fast car. I didn't see it, but I heard that the side-by-side comparison of Tracy Chapman and Luke Combs was like embarrassing for Luke Combs.
Yeah.
I mean, Tracy Chapman's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
And Luke Combs is okay, but, he's no Tracy Chapman.
Right.
No Tracy Chapman.
Right.
So what the nominees and the nominates think.
The what?
The nominates. You don't like that? I thought that was cute. Come on,
Did
man.
you write that? From BuzzFeed.
No, I put the nominates.
I gave you full opportunity to say, yeah, it was BuzzFeed.
Well, this is taken word for word from BuzzFeed. Following his failure to earn any nominations from the 2022 Grammys, Machine Gun Kelly, one of your favorite artists, tweeted, "What the fuck is wrong with the Grammys?"
I don't know who that is, but sounds real like a sore loser in a contest that she shouldn't want to be a part
Who
of.
would win, Machine Gun Kelly or Killer Mike?
Depends.
So Machine Gun Kelly has one of the best quotes of all time.
What's that?
I'm being very sarcastic here. I believe it's Megan Fox he's married to, right?
Oh, yeah.
When she walked up to him, she said, "You smell like weed." He said, "I am weed."
That's pretty good. I mean, you can't beat that.
I am become weed.
I am weed.
Smoker of worlds.
Number 2, despite being nominated, Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff boycotted the 1989 Grammys, and after they found out that the rap categories, which were new, wouldn't be broadcast on TV. That sucks.
I mean, there's so many categories that don't get broadcast every year. It sucks. I would much rather have more stuff broadcast and have less lame performances, but
Yeah.
I guess that's just me.
I like people to actually sing while they're on stage. That's my beef.
Um,
So I know you've been thinking about this a lot, Kevin.
Yep.
And you've stayed up late at night texting me
Yeah.
about this, wondering what the Recording Academy Grammy Awards voting process is.
Yes.
And this is golden material that I'd like to share with you.
Thank you. I've been obsessing over this.
Did you know that I was nominated for a nomination?
I did know that.
Yes.
Yes.
Nominated for a nomination?
Yeah. Because that's the process, right?
It must have been an honor to be nominated.
I got on stage at my house
Yeah.
and thanked myself, and then got off stage.
So explain to us how this works.
Dan has made dozens of dollars in his
Yeah, I sure
solo
have.
career.
That's why I don't do it anymore. So submission, the Recording Academy members, you have to pay $100 a year, and record companies submit recordings and music videos from the eligibility year they deem worthy of a Grammy. Over 350 experts in various fields conduct reviewing sessions to ensure entries meet specific qualifications in all the genres, and then the nominating process begins.
What experts in various fields?
One of the, and I didn't start with this, and I probably should have, but there is a cabal in
Careful.
this.
Here's where we go alt-right on the show.
It's located in a pizzeria.
Yeah.
So seriously, there's an interesting aspect to this that I do want to get to, and I might have to just do the overdub later. But so that's the thing. Yeah, there's these 350 experts. Where we're going to get into that a little bit more. The nominating process begins. Voting members in good standing receive first-round ballots and instruct to vote. Special nominating committees are arranged. A lot of cloudy stuff in there. Final voting happens to determine the winners, and then Deloitte & Touche, of course, your accounting firm, tabulates the ballots. The winners are announced at the Grammy Awards. They receive a statuette of a what is that? A gramophone?
Yes.
Yeah. And then everybody goes into their blood-sucking backroom parties and drink the blood of children.
Yep. To live forever.
Yep.
Of course.
So there's this secret committee, this outrage about it. Despite not dominating the charts with his 2020 album After Hours, The Weeknd didn't receive a single nomination.
Wait, are you saying Machine Gun Kelly was onto something?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it the intrigue, the outrage begins. He said, "I'm never coming back here. I will no longer allow my label to submit music because of the secret committees that are in the voting."
I'm just so curious what you need to be an expert in.
You have to have ears. Do
Okay.
you have ears?
Check. They work too. Check.
Yeah.
I would think that they probably have people who are looking at it from like people who are hip hop experts, people who are rock experts, people who are classical music experts, as well as like engineers, graphic designers for album. There's album art Grammys, so maybe things like that. That's
What's an expert though? Because I feel like
somebody
my
who's got
ears-
their like masters in musicology. Or
No,
something
I
like
hope
that?
not. They're
Yeah,
you know, like no. From an audio standpoint, I listen to things for very specific reasons. Like when the Beatles released their mono album set of their recordings, I listened to it. I was like, okay, this is cool. But would I like want to listen to another recording just for the sake of the musicianship? No, I'm going to look to see if they wrote the song, and then that's it. But usually that's not the case, and that's not the standard. It's the Recording Arts Academy.
Right. I know there's a difference between Song of the Year, which is the writing of it, and Record of the Year, which is the performance of it.
I didn't know that was the difference.
Yes. There's also,
No, that's the difference between record of the year and album of the year.
Record of the Year is one song. Album of the Year is a full album.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So we're talking about like an EP or an LP.
Record of the Year is LP. No, sorry. Album of the Year is LP. Record of the Year is a single song.
Okay.
It's the recording of
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the Grammy voting process, critics allege, might be subject to manipulation. According to this guy, Rob Kenner, who used to sit in the review committee, there's an unwritten rule at play in these discussions to be careful about greenlighting an album by someone who is really famous if you don't want to see that album win a Grammy.
So like Kanye West wants to do a new album, he's not going to get greenlit.
Yeah, I mean, when he's going to say stupid stuff, you want that guy on stage. That's what this guy is saying.
Okay.
Famous people tend to get more votes from clueless Academy members, regardless of the quality of their work.
Clueless Academy members. I thought they were experts.
Well, I think there's two separate categories.
Oh, okay, all right.
So one of the things I follow is I follow the Baseball Hall of Fame pretty closely.
Ooh.
And one of the problems of the Baseball Hall of Fame is once you become a voting member, up until recently, you could vote forever. So there are guys who were running by baseball in the 70s who are now in their 90s who don't watch baseball anymore who were still voting. And so you get all these like crazy votes coming in because they don't care. And I feel
Where's Ty Cobb?
Exactly. I feel like there's people who probably don't listen to a lot of modern music, but see, Eric Clapton put out an album, and then votes for Eric Clapton.
Yeah,
I think those things
best
probably
metal album.
do happen. Yeah.
I don't like this metal stuff. Let's put Eric Clapton in now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That guy.
Rick Beato. Imagine Rick Beato.
The world's most pretentious man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right, Rick Beato. We're coming for you. We're calling you out. I would say that there are far more people who get into music for the fame than there are that get into it for the expression.
You think initially?
Yeah.
I think a kid picks up a guitar or learns to sing or play the drums because they want to, not because they want to be famous.
Not because they want to get a Grammy.
The first time I held a guitar was in a mirror, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah."
What do you want to say to that kid now?
Stop! Put it down. Yeah. Study.
Exactly.
Stay away from fish.
He also goes on to say that there's privacy concerns. They don't want to be lobbied, but we all know that you have to shake hands and be in those rooms and play those performances. That's why in those music industry magazines, for your consideration, all that stuff starts happening because it's not about the best music. It's not about the greatest thing. It's about the popularity and the political posturing.
How would you even go about truly finding the best album of the year? There are tens of thousands of records released every year.
So I would listen for musicianship. I would listen for songwriting.
But what you like and what I like, even if we're looking for the same things, we're going to have different tastes on them, right? Like, how do you come to consensus about what is the best album of the year?
You can't.
It's impossible. Yeah.
And I think that, which goes back to the argument of the Beatles being the best ever. There was probably a band like the Beatles out there at that time doing good stuff, but never got known, right? You can make that argument. Maybe they were better than the Beatles, but we'll never know because they were never out there. The Beatles were great. I'm not disputing that. So, back to the cabal.
Okay.
What?
Were you waiting for somebody to argue that the Beatles weren't great?
Yes.
It seemed like it.
I will not argue that.
Academy insiders have also said that corruption happens all the time. In an Equal Employment Opportunity Commission complaint filed by someone who was the Academy's former CEO, who was ousted 5 months after this complaint. She basically said, like, yeah, it's all BS. And the process is rigged. The Academy dismissed it. It's categorically false, misleading, and wrong. But she was fired. That doesn't look too good.
No. Quiet, you.
I think the only role the Grammys really have for me anymore is occasionally I'll hear about an album that got 10 Grammy nominations that I haven't heard yet. And I'll seek out that album to listen to it because I care about what people think is good music, right? But aside from being just a list of things to maybe check out, I don't see any real value in the Grammys.
Yeah. Well, the value is some 2018 Grammy winners saw their album sales jump by 100%.
Yeah.
So it's more promotion than it is. Well, it's glitz and glamour and promotion than it is anything else. Fiona Apple in 2020, she said, "I'm waiting to hear more about what the CEO, Deborah Dugan, former Recording Academy president, has to say about the culture at the Recording Academy because it reeks to me. When you hire somebody and they raise questions, then they get fired," she says. You like Fiona Apple?
No.
Great. She's fantastic. You ever listen to her
Great.
stuff?
Yeah.
I haven't, so I don't not like her either.
Do you know any of her music?
No.
You suck.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that she brought up that make it... and Dugan, she's talking about Dugan. There's a lot of things that she brought up that make it so that we can't vet the situation, and I can't support this industry basically, or this the show. Halsey, another one, was hoping for more transparency of reform, and there's so much calls of bullshit from so many different artists saying that they should have gotten and they didn't get. I mean, I can go on and on about it, but there's a lot of artists that are saying like, why am I not being nominated? If I've got X amount of whatever and I should be, whatever. And then they're pointing to these secret committees. The secret committees are the ones that are making these decisions. That's basically what's happening, Kevin.
Who made the decision to strip Milli Vanilli from their Grammy after it was revealed that they had been lip syncing, which is something now just everybody does?
Yeah. Well, they lip synced on their... They were singing on their album.
No, they weren't.
They were singing on their album, and then they were removed and put in.
Yes, yeah.
And then the two people were put in their place.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they actually could sing.
Yeah,
Well-
no, it was after they got busted on the MTV performance.
Yes. Girl, you know it. Girl, you know it. Girl, you know it. Girl, and they were like dancing.
I wonder how long that train would have gone on for if that CD player hadn't skipped. Right? Like, could they have made another album? Probably. Right?
We might be living in an entirely different world.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Obama never won in 2008.
So they changed this recently, the end of the secret committees. They never actually said that this was happening, the so-called secret committees that led to allegations that the highest honors in the industry were rigged. In January 2022, all of the honors would be selected by all of its more than 11,000 voting members instead of like a couple.
Whoa.
But you know what? You think that would fix everything, Kevin?
Yes.
Nope.
Ah.
In Bad Bunny recently performed a mashup. You know Bad Bunny?
Who is that? I'm so out of touch. I have
Bad
no
Bunny's
idea
the
who
biggest
any
pop star in the world right now.
I mean,
Is that
it's
right?
Absolutely gigantic.
Is it a man or a woman?
It's a man.
Man.
Okay.
It's a Latino. Latinx man. Performed a mashup of his Spanish language. This is funny. Performed a mashup of his Spanish language songs El Apagón and something else. Oh, Despacito, right? No. Despacito. You know I'm 25% Cuban.
Is that right?
Yeah. Después de la playa? At the Después de la playa?
Wow, there's that Cuban coming out.
Después de la playa? At the 2023 Grammys.
Did you say that so that... Did you point out your Cuban ancestry so that none of this segment would be considered as overtly racist?
Just light. Just light. I mean,
all right.
My parents, I'm not going to go there.
Well, you would be considered what college professors would call passing Latinx. Passing as white, but having Latin
I do.
and heritage.
I mean, legit.
Yeah. And you're from Florida.
Yeah.
Nope. Florida man over here.
Florida man. Anyway, so he was performing, and he was performing on stage, and the lyrics on the closed caption were saying "speaking non-English" and said "singing in non-English."
Singing in non-English.
Yeah.
What a slap in the face.
He told Vanity Fair it was so fucked up.
He's right.
Yeah.
It is fucked up.
Speaking in un-American.
50 Cent also criticized the lack of appropriate captions, Bad Bunny's performance, and said the Grammys need to be on check about this. I mean, they're not perfect, but that's pretty stupid. In my nomination for the most recent awards, I know I've done a lot of talking, but we'll discuss this.
That's fine. I have nothing to say about
That's fine. Nominated for Please Shut Up
it.
is Jay-Z.
Oh.
Quote, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. He pointed to his wife while on stage.
Nicki Minaj.
With his daughter.
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Dude. Come on.
I was confused because I read something about Nicki Minaj getting snubbed because I think who won that? Because she's had 12 nominations and never won it.
Yeah.
It was Barbie Girl or something like that.
Yeah, she was on for this year too, and she got snubbed.
Yeah.
But he was on stage speaking about how Beyonce has been snubbed for Album of the Year. But I mean, seriously, Jay-Z and Beyonce complaining about complain about somebody else, not you, right? That's my gripe.
Who did Kanye West complain about?
He interrupted Taylor Swift at the MTV Awards, is what you're thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. Poor Tay-Tay.
In defense of who?
Beyonce.
Also Beyonce.
Yes.
Wow.
But Beyonce is like the queen of R&B.
Yeah, well, sure.
Like whatever, and Jay-Z's like the king of hip hop.
They're worth billions of dollars.
Worth billions of dollars. Fight for the people that don't have a voice, not you. Shut up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd fight for the young black man and the young black woman that doesn't have a voice. Is that what he's? Unless I'm misconstruing.
No, I mean,
this.
I call out some artist who's never been nominated.
Yeah.
So, there's this great up-and-coming artist, no one's talking about them. Call out that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it seems so juvenile that there's this like
He wasn't nominated this year.
no.
Not for Juvenile.
Darn. That there's this award ceremony for like most popular. It's like, what are we in high school? Come on.
No. Well, it's a popularity contest. My big gripe, and I had to do I did read about this, and I was looking into the award ceremony. So it's not necessarily about the writing; it's about the performance, the recording. 2022, the Grammys started giving awards to songwriters, non-classical. Well, if you don't hate the Grammys, you sure do now, because there's nothing like listening to a broadcast to give you a biased review of everything that they hate about something. There is a cabal. I like that word.
A cabal.
Yeah. There's a group of people behind everything at the Grammys, controlling the world and the music that you listen to control your mind. Right, Kevin?
Don't get vaccinated.
And that's it. We'll see you next week for something equally as more or maybe.